Who doesn't love talking about it? What is a catch? Welcome into the Red Zone. We're going to dive into this, but today we're going to upgrade our conversation here because we brought in somebody who knows a lot about this. Bill Polian, a 21-year member of the NFL's competition committee. He's been in meetings when replays were conceived, and he's also had a seat at the table when is it a catch has been discussed. So you are the brilliant mind here, the professor of this conversation. I talked you up here, so now you got to come through for me, Bill. What is a catch?
Well, it's gotten a lot simpler over time. A catch, when a player is upright, is as follows: possession, 2 feet down, and a period of time necessary to protect himself from an oncoming tackler. If all three are present, we have a catch. If any of the three are not present, we have an incomplete pass. The reason being, many, many years ago, Tex Schramm, Vince Lombardi, etc., did not want cheap fumbles. Catch, hit, fumble, people diving all over the place. So the rule reflects the philosophy, really, of the founding fathers of the modern NFL. Now, I was not on the committee with Lombardi, by the way. Let's the record show that.
We're not aging you that much here, Bill.
Now, when you go to the ground, you must, in the terms of the rules, survive the ground. Meaning that in that particular play, which, by the way, I saw from the radio broadcasting booth, and I thought was a catch until I saw it slowed down. What happened was Jesse James was going to the ground. He reached across the end line. The ball was moving as he crossed the goal line, and then it hit the ground. Once the ball hits the ground, you have an incomplete pass, period. And you can see it hit the ground there and move. Now, part of the difficulty is that, in fans understanding this, is that we now have super slow-mo, high-def cameras. So the cameras are seeing things that the officials, the broadcasters, the fans, the coaches can't see with the naked eye. And therefore, when you get these overturns, people say, well, it sure didn't look that way to me. You're right, it didn't. That's the way it looks in super slow, high def. But the bottom line is the rule is really pretty simple, and it was executed properly in replay.
Then why all the questions, though? I mean, we heard from some...
Because it looks different in real time than when you see it in super slow-mo. And they officiate with super slow-mo. Here's part of the problem. People don't understand that in this particular case, what we're seeing right now, that's a runner with possession of the ball. He's got possession. Now he reaches across the goal line, touchdown. A guy catching the ball and going to the ground is deemed by rule, and everybody knows this. Bill Belichick reaffirmed it today, by the way, in his press conference. Unless you complete the catch, you do not have possession. So to people in football, it's not counterintuitive. But if you think only, oh, well, the ball crossed the line and therefore it's a touchdown, you can get confused. But people in the game understand the difference. Keep in mind, and Mike Pereira said this best post-game Sunday, that going to the ground, those 3 words, trumps everything else. What follows determines whether it's a catch or not. So there are 2 different rules. If we had a graphic that said, guys upright here, standing up, catching the ball, easy. Catch, 2 feet down, protect yourself, we got a catch, right? Next graphic over here on the other side of the line. Catch the ball, possession, going to the ground. Going to the ground are the key words. If he goes to the ground, however he gets there, whether it's one hand, a shoulder, it doesn't matter. If he goes to the ground, he must survive the ground. He's got to catch the ball. It's not a catch until he does.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. And see, and I understand what the competition committee is trying to do. You're trying to make it very standardized so referees don't have to face this kind of talk.
The whole purpose of the rule book and the whole purpose of what the competition committee does is to shrink the gray area.
Yeah.
The famous Dallas Cowboy play is a classic example of going to the ground, Des Bryant, and being squarely in the gray area. Tough call.
Yeah.
But we're trying, by writing the rules the way we write them and creating the philosophy that we do, to try and shrink that gray area as much as we possibly can. Shrink it, shrink it, shrink it. There's always going to be gray area, but we're trying to shrink it as much as we can.